Hello friends, welcome back to the video series for PennyWize. And in this episode, we are going to carry forward from what we were facing within the send digest functionality that we had. So let me go and see where we are with the deployment. We found certain problem. So then what we had is we had the deployments done. So we were updated the send digest to use react this one. So it looks like it's ready. Let's try one more time. Let's run this and run the cron jobs. I think the cron jobs may not run, so we can run them. I did see some logs not available, so let me turn the live monitoring and let's look at who all are opted for the weekly digest. That would be two of my accounts. So if I go to that one, I do see an error, so could not find module. Let me copy this. So I copied the error and we go to the PennyWize and let's see what this error message is talking about. In the meantime, we'll also open the our code. So let ChatGPT understand the problem. It looks like there's some problem with translating into JavaScript, and we do not want to have that. So if you look at send digest, weekly digest.js, we have weekly digest.tsx, and we have weekly digest.ts. Then over here we have a promise. This promise is weekly digest email. So there are some ESLint related error messages that I am using ChatGPT to fix them. Now comes these two things. One is the TS and one is the JS. These two are the ones that are causing a problem for me. In the meantime, let's see what ChatGPT talks about. So let's commit these ones. So added component. Yeah. Let's see what Vercel has to do about it. Let's commit this one. So these changes are now deployed. Let's no, it is gone for deployment. Let's see what the deployment talks about. We're building them. I think we can get an error message, but we'll try to resolve that error that we are seeing. 44 minutes. Oh, I think that I didn't see any deployment error, but I'll try to run the code. Let's see if that helps us in any way. So we are again going to the cron jobs. We're going to run the daily digest. We're going to view logs, live logs. This error came few minutes back, so let's not worry about it. We do see unhandled exception. Yeah, this module issue is coming, so let's address this one. This is similar to the TS one we are seeing here. Let's see what this one talks about. This is similar to this one error that I am seeing here. Let's uh, update it to use JS files, and then I'm going to commit and sync. So hopefully this kind of helps in fixing the error, but let's have it deployed first. We still have might see some problem here regarding the JS. So this problem is saying its corresponding type declare cannot find module. So I think this one is regarding the JS. Ideally, if you think about it, all gets translated to JavaScript. So I don't know if that issue is going to come again. Let's see. Let's run the cron jobs again. So that was about TS. So let's see. We are seeing a problem with JS. So cannot find weekly digest.js. Unhandled could not find module. Okay, this one talks about this one. So let's use chat GPT here. So I'm going to stop the previous request on the application. Yes, we would want to have a full updated send digest so that we have zero references to weekly digest. So this is send digest.tsx with all the code. Yes, I can see the React email render. I can see submission history. I can see helpers, CSV. In import, we are not using that. So this chart URL, I'll wait for the page to load. Yes, so what we'll do is we'll delete this stingy hubby 3 and we'll have PennyWize 3 involved here. For that, we'll have to wait for the page to load. Usually, this issue happens with ChatGPT because there's a lot of context being generated and which is being referred to while coming up with an answer. So it saves time, however, it takes time for ChatGPT to use all that context on this machine on the browser. Usually, the APIs do take time to process all that data for you. So, yeah, given the load that's going on the application server, I would say we can try to reduce the context by creating a new overall page in the project, so that way we would be able to address the problem here. So let's first copy this, then I'll try to delete and create a new page. So let's do that. Let's wait for the whole code to come down, because that's gonna help us as well in the future. You can see we have all the necessary code. I don't see it's a big problem. Like, I feel that this is what we were doing last session. So let's continue for 15 minutes and see where do we stand in this. Right now in the goals section, giving AI suggestions. This one is taking a lot of time, but I think we don't have an option but to wait for processing to be done. and we can start new ones again. The PennyWize project opened up, so let's delete this. In the meantime, delete this page, StingyHubby page. Stripe portal configuration error, this one is no longer needed, so we can delete this. PennyWize 1.2 is there. Git log error, that one we resolved few days back, so that one can be deleted. And advertise website for traffic, this is something we can use in the future, but right now we don't need it, so we can delete it. And let's add a new chat here, or actually let's continue with this, and you can see that the rest of the code has been put into chart. We have the inline React email that is being set here, and then we have the tsx. So let's copy the code for the send digest. So this one is here. I would not do anything on it. Let's replace, and I do see some values here, so there are some errors that needs to be looked into. So these most probably are the these are most probably the errors. So let's see, we are fixing this. So it's basically saying that it needs to be parsed. So let's rename this file from ts to tsx and digest. Most of the errors are gone, so there are 4 left. Now this HTML is a similar error that we were facing before, that goes away. There's a any, so that field needs to be ESLint, that field needs to be specified. Another any at the bottom, so that one we know we need to fix it. So this one is more rather than a fast refresh, I would say fast refresh error. I would say we would rather have, let's cancel this and let's be okay with it, and let's move it across. So let's send this and say send digest changes, commit and sync, and this will make the weekly digest component a little bit only works when a file only exports component. Move the component to a separate file. So this component which has been declared here needs to be sent to a separate file, then it will be passed refreshed, but that is something we are okay without having. So let's have the deployment done. $42 seconds. It's ready. Now we'll run the jobs again. Let's run the jobs. This time we should not get that error, but some maybe we can get some other error. So let's be ready for that. So we need to copy this. This is talking about send digest.js not visible. So we need to have it in our code. Let me start this in stingy v3 only. Let's delete this. Let's start a new conversation and make it PennyWize 3. This should make it faster. So this looks like the reversal function issue, so give it some time to think about. So here this one is the common JS ES module versus common JS mismatch. So convert the header to CommonJS and load ESM dependencies dynamically. And then over here, email slash. So this is the path, right? Email slash weekly digest. So this is the include API source email. Option A is called keep JCAJ, use dynamic import, works even if packages are ESM only. This is the most resilient on universal node functions. We'll not look at option B. Option C is also not looking at. So we're going to copy this. Control A, Control C. Considering option A, please rewrite below code. So we have passed in the below code. We are expected to rewrite it. ChatGPT is expected to do that. We'll give it some time to think about it. And here on the side, we can rename this as PennyWize. So this file becomes PennyWize 3. This is what we have. So the rewrite is happening. We'll wait for the rewrite to complete. This is mostly PDF and CSV attachment logic, and this is the whole file. So we copy this and we paste it here. This gives us more ESLint issues. So let's follow the ESLint here. Let's fix this. Then over here, this is n, can be given the type number, the rows. This is also type given here, except. Then here we don't want any, so we'll have it fixed there with unknown, another any, unknown. History, we have to declare the type. So most, I think ESLint has generated a few error messages because I think these all are like, the Copilot is very easy on it, but I think that has created us some problem that we cannot put any. So ESLint will catch that problem, and we'll have to then specify the fix. So it's more calls to ChatGPT in that case. So here the user object is declared, submission history. This one is going to be associated with 16 errors, so here we have accepted. We have brought it down to 12. Props, this type any, but then later on any will be translated to the HTML props type. We've gone down to 11. This type also we need to specify to string most only. Unknown, okay, unknown, it has given that one. Params, these are going to be the build PDF params, and chunks also. It's an array, so buffer, it's a buffer array, and then below requirement, right? So this is more about request response. So the type here async. Accept. This is associated from next. So we will have to install the npm install next. Let's do that. So let's stop in this session. Let's stop. We have already passed half an hour on the project. We will continue from the next session. We'll continue on fixing these problems on the page, and then going ahead with the deployment and the send digest task. So okay, I think ESLint does introduce a few more complexity within this. It takes time to fix it, but then in the end we would be able to remove all the errors that we have. So thank you so much guys for being part of this video here. This more of a like a going through the the grind and trying to come up with a solution. At one point we'll come up with a solution. It may take us some time or may not take us some time, but we will not stop trying on this, and we'll try to come up with a solution that is helpful for us. So in the meantime, please continue watching the videos, subscribe to the channel, as well as visit the website, and also subscribe to the paid features within the website if you can, to support this channel. Thank you so much.